Hello guys, this is Rattue 498 and this is a 3 versus 2 commentary battle on Grassy Flatlands map on Napoleon Total War. I am going to be playing with my clanmate Banastri Tarleton from Huntsman, and we're up against a guy from the CDC clan and a couple of other guys. So this is my army. I'm playing as GB. I've got 5 lights, 10 foot line, and 4 light dragoons for general staff. This is Banastri's army. He's got 5 Prussian Fusiliers. He's got a militia in front, a few foot guard, 6 lancers, and some musketeers, and a general staff. Banastri's opponent is playing as France, with some lights, some Voltigas, and a few cav, and quite a few lines in double ranks. The centre guy's playing as Austria. He seems to have brought a lot of rifles. And the last guy is my opponent, playing as France, and he's actually a cheating little bastard, and he's bought himself a couple of artillery. So as you'll see, basically the plan is to kind of try and ignore one of the players and just work on my guy and the guy in the centre. I had my unrestricted camera off during this, so you're going to see some kind of dodgy movement from me during some of it. So Banastri, if you have a look at the minimap, he's moved his lines across. He has, so we're kind of leaving our left flank completely open, hugging the red line on our right, and moving most of our units to the centre. So as I say, the plan's going to be to try and kind of break my guy and the centre guy, and then I'll switch some units across. So my guy's howitzers are now firing down. Banastri's moved his lights up with his militia in front. There's a meat shield to take the first shot. And he's fighting against rifles, so he will have a pretty easy time of beating these guys, even without the militia in front for the first shot. Rifles against lights, the rifles will lose every single time. So they don't really so much of a chance. On this flank, my opponent's got an old guard. He's got a light unit mixed in with his lines, and his main body of lights is over the other side, so I'm going to take advantage of this and I'm just going to keep firing him, weakening his lines until I can get my cav into him. Banastri's made a cav charge in to get his guy into square in the centre, and he's left 2 of his lights at an angle, and he's left kind of a couple of cav down on his rear left flank, just to basically hold off his opponent, stop his opponent from moving up, and if needs be, make him fall squares to run away. So I've sent a cav charge through. I've got 2 of my light dragoons coming in. They did get a little bit shot up, but nothing really for me to worry about. I got in this old guard, and this other unit as well is being classed as in melee, so they won't be able to square either. So I've moved 1 line unit up on the flank. I've also got my lights firing in on everybody, so I've got a lot of firepower on that side, which is going to be able to hopefully wipe out that flank pretty quick. The CDC guy sent in some cav on Banastri's centre to counter the cav which he sent in. And I've got my other 2 light dragoons coming through. My light dragoons, basically, I'm just using them as some kind of decoy. I want him to get his cav involved. One thing I don't want is him to have his French cav laying around. He's got a couple of decent cav, I believe he's got some Empress dragoons and some decent lancers, so I want them gone. So I whack into his volts, which obviously he can't square, there's no stakes in front, so everyone easy hit. And I've got my 4 cav units in there now, and basically I'm just going to keep moving up the line. I'm going to destroy as many men as I can and try and get his cav to follow me. The Austrian guy's moved forward 1 of his rifles, and I've just moved forward a couple of lines to counter that. So over on this flank, this is where Banastri's technically the strongest with his foot guards over here, although the Prussian Fusiliers are an absolutely amazing unit. They will outbeat pretty much every other unit in the game, light unit in the game, apart from the Portuguese, which are also very good. The howitzers are firing in. They've done quite a bit of damage to my cav, as well as my lights, but I've managed to chase his 2 cav units, decent cav units, and his general in to. They've come into my lights, but I'm going to move all my lights now around, and I'm going to countercharge my cav back, and I'm going to move my squares out. Form squares. So really those cav are going to be dead very, very shortly. And now his flank has been busted wide open, so I'm going to be able to start moving around. As you can see, we've only got a couple of units holding this centre bit here, but it seems to be good enough.
men are running.
So we're doing alright on that flank. In the centre here. If you have a look at the minimap, you can see I've got some units, the blue units towards the back of my flank. You can see I've got like a reserve force. There, I know I can win now against this guy with the units that I've got up here that you're seeing now. So the units I'm holding back, they're going to be to run across to Banastri's side as soon as I can to help him. So it's my guy's general there that died. Underground, sorry. It's my guy's general there that died. So I'm just going to reform my lines now and start working on this flank again. The sooner we can kill one of the opponents, the better, really. So I'm trying quite hard to move up on him pretty fast and get that done as soon as possible. But actually he's doing an excellent job here. He's holding off pretty much 1 3/4 armies, so he's doing a fantastic job in stopping these guys. So as you can see, there's one unit there that's holding me up. Otherwise the rest of my force could move down, but he's still there holding me up, and he's hangs around for quite a surprising amount of time really, because in fact he's lost his general, he's completely surrounded. So howitzers are still firing in. I managed to kill one of them with my cav, but the other one's still shooting. Band's lights are still firing in on the French lights, so a lot better, so they'll be able to win that battle. As you can see now, the French opponent's going to start flanking. 2 of our players rage quit as we start to get the upper hand. They do, but I'll point that out when they do that. So Band's going to move his cav across now, as you can see in the centre now. I'm starting to struggle a little bit with my 2 units against the couple of Austrian units and his cav unit there as well. So he's going to move a couple of units there. I've moved my lights up to be able to engage these guys as quickly as possible. And obviously I outrange them, so it's going to be a pretty easy win on this side really, because as soon as he fires, I'll just move my lines, as soon as he gets in firing range, I'll just move my lines up so they can fire as well. I've got 2 ranks firing on him. So Band's got his cav in, and I've got the Austrian guy's cav coming in on me here from a square. I've got a line there as well now, which I've moved up, which are going to shoot them as they come through. So Band gets charged here by some of the Lancer units from Austria, and they surprisingly survived quite a long time, considering they had lines firing them. The lines didn't seem to do too much damage, so it was a little bit surprising how long they lasted. But if you have a look at the mini-map now, you can see that our left flank is pretty much being surrounded. Our right flank, we've won it basically, and the centre as well, their centre's breaking. So it won't be long before we can just move on to the French guy. So as you can see, my guy's lights are hanging around at the back there. I think he's trying to hold a line, but it's not really doing too much good. Bang got the first shot here, as his opponent was, I think, under the impression that he was going to be able to win this side pretty easily. But Bang's a very good player, so he will struggle to beat him. But as you can see now, I'm going to be moving. Well, I've got 5 units moving across there, but I'm going to hold 2 of them up and bring 2 of them back. So 3 units will go across to that flank now to plug the gap. And my opponent's moving his lights up. I haven't got any cav. Used all my cav. All I've got is my general, which I'm now moving up to support any units that might want to rout away. Band sent a cav charge in. I think it was quite successful. Managed to take 1 unit out, and yeah, there's 1 unit of Volks routing. And he also manages to get a hit on the back of one of his, I think the Swiss foot, not too sure. One of those units there as well. So that cav charge was quite successful from there. So the Austrian player now is kind of, I think, going to try and reform up by the French guys. My guy now has been just basically demolished. He's got a howitzer left. He's got a few light units which are kind of staggered around, but that's really all he's got left. He's got nothing left now. So Ban, as you can see now, he's able to move around the side of the Austrian guy slightly. And another cav charge coming in, which does a bit of damage again. The Austrian cav, very good cav. Talked to Tyler the Great about that. He does love his cav, the Austrian cav. So, but they're very good cav for the price. And as you can see here, I basically charged my general in. Before you charge your general in to engagement that he could die, always hit the inspire button. Get your guys, give them a little boost just in case he gets shot. They'll last that little bit longer before they get the morale hit on them. So I'll do him a bit of a favour here. Bam fails to form square when the Austrian general comes in, unfortunately. So, but it's a general unit, it's not going to do too much damage. He's folded back his left flank now, seeing that he's been outflanked. My units are coming down, he's sending his cav back around the back to be able to support them. So over on my flank now, there's nothing really happening in my flank now. I've pretty much destroyed the guy. And it's just basically a bit of the Austrian left there to destroy. So I'll be doing that in a second. And now the fight's going to be with this French guy. The CDC guy rage quits. I'm not sure when he rage quits. Pretty soon, I think. So as you can see there, look at the top of the map. We've got a stable line. I've got my GB units coming around. And if we move on up, there's a great big gap in the middle. And loads of units come on my side. So we're going to be able to encircle any units that are left without too much of a problem. My units didn't take too many hits either, so they're still got loads and loads of men left there to fight. The only concern is doing things like 2v3s or 3v4s is the amount of ammo you're going to use up. So a lot of people like to use France doing it simply because you've got the old guard, and if you do end up losing everything and all your ammo's gone, then you can always jump into a bit of melee, which obviously will help out because the old guard are absolutely amazing at that. So a few French units left, a couple of volts which are moving over there for ban. I think that's the CDC guys. The Austrian cav charged in on me, formed a square up, and my lights will just finish him off. They're firing at him, so he won't hang around for too long. So as you can see, Ban's got basically 2 units firing against about 4 there, but he's winning the engagement alright. We managed to encircle around the French opponent, the CDC guy, who I believe is rage quit by this point, and Ban's just send his cav in, and we're just going to encircle him, and that'll be the end of his units. So the only real fight left to be had now was the Austrian in the centre, but Ban's got enough ammo, and he'll be able to clean that off pretty easily. So Ban basically did this, he versed 1 3/4 army, I versed about 1 1/4, so he did the majority of the work, which is why I like it. Nice easy battle for me. So thank you very much to him for that. And as you can see here, basically the last of the units were all just getting shot up. He's got the CPU now. They've got some units at the back formed in square for some god awful reason. I don't know. The CPU in this game really does need a good shooting because it is dreadful. But the French guy, my opponent, hung around to the end. I believe the Austrian player rage quits in a second as well. But then technically he ain't got any units left, so he can't really call it rage quit. He quit. So as you can see now, I'm just going to move down and finish off the rest of the units. I believe in a second I'm going to fast forward it for you. So my unit's going to move around, and as you can see we've got a huge force left. Ban's done excellent. He's still got pretty much all his lives left, I think, apart from the losses that he had from the cav. So,
our men are running, sir.
But that was a very good game to our opponents. Even though a couple of them quit, I'd like to say thank you very much for all playing. Thank you to Ban. I'm going to be doing a lot of Napoleon 2v3s, 2v4s, 3v4s, things like that. On different maps as well, won't be flatlands. Things like Rizgard does, if you haven't checked him out, check his channel. He's in my other channels lists. He does stuff like that with as a bishop sometimes, so check them out. We're going to start doing some stuff like that. Yeah, so that was a good game. Thank you very much, Ban, for playing. Everyone, please check out GameDecider.com because, well, it's an amazing site, really. You've got all kinds of gamers go on there, not just from PC games, all kinds of gamers. And it's just some place to chat and check out new demos and stuff like that. It's great, so www.gamedecider.com. Or if you can't be bothered to do that, just type in Game Decider. It's the first one that comes up on the list. So that's there as well. I had a cav unit coming from the Austrian there, so I just formed up, well, basically all my units in square. So Ban did me in the kills, but as I say, he had more men to face. A good job to him. And thank you everyone for watching. Please rate, comment and subscribe. And thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.